Hi. I'm known as many different things. Most of you know me as Rocky Xavier Starr, RXS, but my friends know me mainly as Brian Presnell. And honestly, that's the guy I prefer anyone know, honestly, over my wrestling character in certain ways. I'm sitting here in this empty room because I wanted to say something special, because if you've watched the rest of the documentary, which hoping you have, you've learned some various feelings and some things that's happened over the years. But the thing is, you don't know in the short segments where I speak of these happenings, or these were years and years apart. I've known them. My longest friend, Mike McLeod, has been 11 or 12 years now, and everybody else is not far behind. So I have more personal things to say directly to them. Feel free to skip this because if you want, but here we go. Brandon, I'm trying to cover something that I didn't really talk about before, but it's hard to become your friend, but I think it was well worth it. You are there for me, even if you're not physically there for me, because usually when I text or call, you're there, and you're probably the closest out of the rest of my friends when it comes to being sensitive. I can really mesh with you on levels that I can't get out of some other friends, and I'm glad you turned out to who you are right now, and I just hope the best for you. Don't make any rash decisions. I'm not going to talk about that. Dustin, I really should have kept you last, because there's way too many things to thank you for. Even when my life is at my hardest, you're always there to come pick me up. You buy me food. You've changed so much over the years, and you've gotten so much better in the ring, and you've always been good. So that's kind of scary. I'm glad I dropped that jealousy thing a long time ago, or I would be in the serious trouble right now. I wouldn't be able to function. Just thank you for all the adventures you've taken me on. I wouldn't have been able to do hardly a thing in my life without you at times. You're the reason I went to places like Michigan, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania, and everywhere else in between. You're like the main reason for that. And sometimes you don't even bother asking for me to pay you back. That's just amazing. That's beyond words, especially some of the hard times that I come upon in my life. I really need that. That helps me so much. I don't think you realize it at times. David, as I said before, if I had to predict at the beginning of all our friendships that ours is going to turn out like this, I would have probably laughed as hard as, when we're doing fake interviews in the radio room. Yeah, I probably would have, because that just seems absurd. But here we are now. We're closer than what I've ever thought. You do an amazing job for yourself. It's hard. It's difficult. It's more difficult than I thought. Maybe I should have wrote this down. But you're so smart. You're funny. You get my humor when no one else does. Your respect is unbelievable. There's at times, man, I think to myself, man, I really wouldn't blame him if he's mad at me. But then you never are, which is amazing, because I know you have a tendency to have more short temperament toward other people. So when I see you being so understanding of something I deserve to be smacked for, it really tells me how much you care about me. And that's astounding, incredible. I want to try to lower the adjectives in the rest of this, but thank you so much for going so far out of the way, driving an hour away just to see me and hang with me a few days, just so we can do juvenile things, like write stories on the computer and play games. You have a family, and you do so well for them, and you still make time for me. So thank you for that, so much. And now that you live closer, I think it's just going to be that much better. I mean, look at this. This is one of the results. You know, you can just come get me and we can come here for this. Brett, I meant to do this alphabetically. Brett, we've had one of the rockiest relationships of our group, but it's usually, luckily, it's all mostly in wrestling. Talking about humor, you've opened my eyes up to a lot of new humor, actually. I've always had that little quick-witted thing like you do, but you made me step up. And honestly, I think our relationship's going to be a lot better from here. If you were to ever ask me my opinion on something and how our relationship could get better, I don't think it really can, honestly, because I think those few arguments and fights help us make it better. So without those, you know, we probably just get stale and never learn a new thing about each other. Michael, I argue with you just as much now as I did when we first met in 6th grade. That was quite a long time ago. Like I said, you're my longest friend, as you know. You like to exaggerate things like crazy, but it's funny. It's not like a certain other guy I know who just lies for no reason. You live farther away now, and I miss you a lot. I really do. Honestly, Michael, when I don't think I never told you this, but when I took my hiatus from wrestling, I still say I never said I quit. I just, you know, trying to get school straight. But I never told you this, that when one of the reasons I came back, I honestly would have been perfectly content never coming back to wrestling. Seriously, I would have been perfectly content. It's you that made me go back, because so much of our friendship has been based off wrestling, which we proved over and over when you were the only one that supported me when I didn't want to wrestle, regardless. That proved right there that even though so much of our relationships have been based off wrestling, that we don't need it. And I think in a weird way, that's what made me go back. Thinking that, that's just more we can keep with our friendship. Why get rid of a big part of our friendship if we don't need to? Even though we could survive without it. I think that's what really matters. So thank you. And I don't think there's ever a time where we're going to part. Well, I can say that about all of us too. Brandon, Brett, Michael, Dustin, David, me. This is to me, just in case I ever go back and watch this video. Stop being so hard on yourself. Stop worrying about the way you look so much, and stop worrying about what other people think of you. It's going to come as a shock for most of you just seeing me a wrestling character, but I don't have the best confidence. But I don't know, if I were talking to myself, I'd say love yourself more. And if you love yourself even half as much as you do your friends, I think you can do anything. But yeah, anyway, to all my friends, I love you guys so much as I love my own parents. And I don't know where I'd be without any of you. I hug you a lot, I know. I like pet your hair and do a bunch of other people would be perceiving as homosexual things. But that's one thing I never cared about. I love you guys, and I'll let you guys know it. And I know you guys love me back. You don't have to say it. I'll know. Thank you.